we finally won the Bundesliga, and we stopped the Bayern Munich dominance as well. These bunch of legends did it. But there's still one job left to do, to lift the Champions League.
I'm not feeling the pressure, no. You cannot put pressure on me, no chance.
And once again in pre-season, more offers came in for our best players. Man City was so persistent with the biz for Vitor Roque that he began skipping training and becoming a bit of a problem. And so I accepted a bid, and he played his last game for us against Bayern in the Super Cup. A game in which Bayern Munich won 1-0 from Musiala. And we said goodbye to Vitor Roque for £138 million. So I went out and I strengthened the starting 11. Starting with this left-sided centre-back Gaston Avila, who I think is actually better than Esteve. He's really good on the ball and has fantastic mentals. We picked him up for Real Madrid for £46 million. Now, to replace Vitor Roque, I have a plan. First off, we signed Garnacho from Espanyol for his release clause of £27 million. And he can rotate with Mohamed Diamonde, who has been very much a rotational player for us, but can play on the left naturally and done so well in the past. Finally, we signed arguably the best goalkeeper on the game and born in Berlin, Novak. Only 23 years of age. We paid £38 million from Cologne, who, remember, bought him as an 18-year-old from our rivals, Hertha. What's even funnier is that he rejected us when he moved to Cologne because he didn't want to play for Hertha's rivals. Now here he is. In the opening round of the DFB Pokal, we won 11-0 with Moukoko scoring 8. One thing we have tweaked is Moukoko's role from a pressing forward on support to an advanced forward, and I think it paid off. And in the opening game of the season, it was a comfortable win against Dusseldorf, with both fullbacks playing a huge part, scoring a goal each and assisting Moukoko with the third. Frimpong got a second goal in the win against Mainz too. We followed that win against newly promoted Schalke 3-0 with Marjanovic picking up 2 goals, who once again has developed even better than he has last time we looked at him. And we are playing the same teams again in the Champions League, starting with Manchester United. And at Old Trafford, we came from behind twice, scoring the equaliser from Vinicius with a 90th minute goal. Late goals was kind of our thing in September, as Vinicius pulled us level and Diamonde scored an 89th minute winner against Cologne after being 3-1 down until the 77th minute. It's a draw to Gladbach and a 3-0 win against Darmstadt, with Juventus up next. And currently we are sitting top of the league. But Juventus beat us 1-0. Back to winning ways in the league as we beat Wolfsburg 2-0 at their brand new stadium, the Eden Dzeko Park.
Ooh, how convenient.
Garnacho got his first goal for us as we go back-to-back with 3-1 wins in the Bundesliga, either side of our 1-1 draw with Lille in the Champions League, not putting us in the greatest position after 3 games during the league phase.
Guys, relax. Relax!
It took until extra time before we scored the winner in the second round of the Cup. And we suffered our first league defeat against Freiburg in November, but picked up wins against Frankfurt, Hanover, and Borussia Dortmund, where we also lose Garnacho for 2 months with a broken wrist just as he was hitting form. He'd been playing well and picking up goals just like this in a 4-1 win to Shakhtar, where Moukoko also bagged a hat-trick. Our other Champions League match was against Inter Milan.
I will love it if we beat them. Love it.
We started off scoring from a kickoff with the big Slovenian Morek Marjanovic, then doubled our league from the spot. Second half, and with Tyler Adams receiving a straight red, Inter came at us but could only muster the 1 goal, and we take all 3 points. We did not even concede a goal in our first 4 matches of December.
Oh, let's go. That's class.
Unfortunately, we didn't even score against Leipzig either. But we did score 3 against Werder Bremen, and Moukoko scored 2 against Porto in the next match of the Champions League, as well as another against Bayern Munich. We've recovered well in the Champions League, but still outside of the automatic qualification positions. But despite destroying 2 teams 5-0 and 8-0 in January, we finished outside of the top 8 qualification places on the same points, even though our goal difference was better. It says the sorting rules is results between teams and then goal difference. But we didn't even play Dortmund, Bayern Munich or Chelsea, and yet we're all still below them.
No, I think that's a bit dodgy, mate.
Outside of the Champions League, it was a busy but very good January, ending with a 7-2 win against Cologne, with Moukoko scoring 5 goals in total. In the Champions League knockout playoff, it was Portuguese side Benfica who we came up against, and it was an incredible first half for us as we ended up going 3-0 up before Benfica finally scored on the 43rd minute. It looked like we were going to throw away this great first leg advantage when they scored a second to make it 3-2, but Marjanovic went on and scored a 4th. We got through to the round of of 16 after a second leg result of 1-1. Another fantastic performance against Dortmund now, with Diomande scoring a beauty in the second half, before Asllani rounded off the 2-0 away win. After 2 draws and a 6-0 win in the Bundesliga, Bayern Munich started to peel away from us at the top, but our focus started to shift to the Inter Milan tie in the Champions League. A team we've already beat this season, remember, so winning again might be quite tricky.
We're gonna do it anyway.
First off, Garnacho is back on form, getting 3 assists in a 4-0 win in the quarter-final of the DFB Pokal.
Come on, man. That's too easy.
Inter Milan fought around a little bit too much at the back, and we eventually punished them with their bad clearance when Kaiki smashed in a rocket. And like deja vu, the same in the second half when Diamande's cross was met by Morik to win the first leg 2-0. And our 2-goal advantage from the first leg was enough to carry us through to the quarterfinals 4-3 on aggregate, where it's PSG who awaits us. Another bad injury for Garnacho as he sprains his knee ligaments in a 4-2 win against Freiburg, meaning he misses the quarterfinals against PSG where Moukoko gives us a 1-0 lead. Second half and it's tight until the 92nd minute winner when Vinicius once again gives us a 2-goal advantage. Second leg is soon to be followed by a league match against Leipzig and a semi-final in the DFB Pokal. Diamande's first minute goal was crucial, yes, but Novak in goal faced 14 shots and saved 12, getting an 8 rating and putting us further in the Champions League than we've ever been, knocking out PSG, with the other Portuguese juggernaut waiting for us in the semi-final. Speaking of semi-finals, we conceded first against Cologne, but a Youssoufa Moukoko goal either side of half-time put us back in the driving seat, and he also got involved in the third when he set up Asllani. 3 DFB Pokal finals in a row, and Freiburg this time will try to prevent us from winning the sexiest trophy on the planet. Porto in the semi-final, and Oscar Ramirez scores within 3 minutes against his old club. And it's our star man Moukoko who has played through to put us 2-0 up going into our home second leg. Lads, we are 1 game away from a Champions League final. Our league form has been doing great, only drawing 1 game since the loss to Schalke the month before. But with Bayern up next, they were simply uncatchable this season and have already been crowned champions. We drew against them anyway. Beto made it 2-1 on aggregate against Porto and we began to panic, until we eventually gathered our composure, and after Garnacho's shot was blocked, he found Moukoko to crush Porto's spirit and send Union Berlin into the Champions League final. And it's Erik ten Hag's United who will be there to meet us, and guess where? None other than Hertha Berlin Stadium. But before we get to that, we have another final to contest with first against Freiburg. A difficult game, but we have our best 11 available and up for the task. It wasn't until the 45th minute when Milan Marjanovic opened up the scoring for us, and our defense were just too good on the day. Freiburg simply couldn't break them down, and Moukoko helped us to 3 DFB Pokals in a row, a 3-peat and a 4th DFB Pokal for Union Berlin. And it all comes down to this then. Very similar lineup, just a few changes at the back with Frimpong moving to the left and Jasic coming back in for Esteve. Garnacho starts against his former club, and a lot of familiar names in Ten Hag's side with Sancho and Rashford being dangerous threats. Here we go then, 10 seasons in the making. It's a Berlin side lining up in the 4-3-3 we've seen so much success from in recent seasons, against a Manchester United side lining up in his traditional 4-2-3-1 with Rashford leading the line and Sancho, Sarmadzic and Zakarian in behind. Goretzka and Kenneth Taylor in the holding midfield positions with a backline from left to right of Bastida, Viti, Todibo and Barry Jones with Onana in goal. And as the players enter the field, we have Erik ten Hag to the right and myself to the left, here at the Olympiastadion in Berlin, Germany, home of Union's main rivals Hertha and the national stadium of Germany. It's Union Berlin versus Manchester United. And 29 minutes on the clock, and with a bit of possession, a long ball by Ryder, and Moukoko is in, and Moukoko scores the first goal of this Champions League final. Just a minute later, and it's a corner flicked on, and Garnacho is there to tap it in and make it 2-0 Union Berlin. Another break down the left, and Garnacho is played in again and makes it 3. With all his injuries this season, it's an incredible comeback story. Approaching half-time, and the pressure is still being applied by Garnacho, who switches to play. Marjanovic heads it down, and Moukoko smashes in a 4th. Second half, and Kaiki is played down the right and he's been brought down, and that could be a penalty, and this is getting worse for Manchester United. It could be a chance for a player to get a hat-trick, and it goes to VAR, but no penalty is given. But time is running out, and there we have it. Union Berlin are the champions of Europe from the struggling early years with Jordan Siebatcheu, Thorsby, Uwe Jan, Terem Moffi, Cancellieri to the recent years of Tyler Adams, Marjanovic, Diamonde, Morik, and of course Moukoko. What a team, what a series. Thank you very much for watching Union Berlin to the Champions League. Up next is Youth to Gold.